what do you feel is, considering that the investment stock markets have also decreased, they've seen a lot of ups and downs in the last few months, and globally there's so much of uncertainty that's going on. So what do you think will be, the is real estate really still a preferred asset class, or will it become a preferred asset class like we used to see it in, say, days before the global financial crisis? Do you think that most people will allocate a higher amount of their funds towards real estate as an asset class? Let's have some discussion points around this.
Real estate is always appreciating asset. Year on year, decade on decade, it has always given historically good returns. In fact, the best returns. Real estate cannot be lost or stolen. If invested with care, it is the best investment ever. Real estate can be passed on to generations. Mutual funds, share market, people are investing there also. But after COVID, especially, people have realized the importance of having their own house. Millennials who were not investing into real estate, they were maybe taking properties on rent, or maybe they were sitting on the fence. They have understood that the only asset which I want to buy is real estate. There are other factors like real estate to become very safe now. After RERA, especially after RERA, real estate has come under regulation. Fear of investment, the government is regulating it. Buying real estate has become very easy, especially because now there are channel partners who come to your house to understand your requirements, to give you the options. Site visits are becoming very easy. Most of the things are online. So all the information you get online, you visit the site, you make your investment, you get a loan. There are tax benefits on loans. Women buyers get stamp duty benefits also. So there are so many benefits. The government is supporting it. Everything seems so nice right now. The infrastructure is getting developed. People from tier 3, tier 4 cities want to buy real estate in tier 1 and tier 2 cities. People who want to buy second home, who have disposable income, they are also safe because they get rental income also, and they also get the benefit of price rise. So there is no looking back. Real estate was, and will be the safest investment amongst all asset classes. A residential property can fetch 3 to 5% returns. Also, they get the benefit of the price rise. Like Anubhav had also pointed out, decade on decade the prices are increasing. A home which you could get in 40 lakhs in maybe 2010 is now priced at around a crore, 80 lakhs to a crore. So the property prices are increasing. The consumer is getting the benefit of rental income also. He's getting the benefit of RERA being there as a regulator. He's getting the benefit of passing it through generations. There are many such benefits. Even when the property gets old, that goes for redevelopment. So he gets a benefit of increase in area, a newer apartment. So real estate decade on decade is the best and the safest investment a person can make.
I think there is really no argument in discussing about how safe real estate is, and everybody, each of us might have at some point reaped the benefits of real estate. 2022 has been a really good year for real estate. It has been a good year for developers overall. I would say it has been a good year for the flat buyers also. People are now looking to buy homes rather than rent homes. There is huge amount of migration that is happening to cities like Pune. If you went to towns out to Hyderabad, everybody, if one person from every family is in the US. Likewise, if you went to cities around Pune, Maharashtra, so be it Solapur, Satara, Nagar, Aurangabad, everybody wants to have a base in Pune. And once the children there are educated, I think Pune is their preferred destination for employment. I think that has helped markets like Pune. Pune has lived up to it in the sense that we are coming up with a lot of commercial real estate. We are coming up with attracting a lot of new companies to Pune. And the residential development in Pune is matching that. The prices may have gone up, and to some extent, I would say the costs also have gone up. So, prices going on over a year's time is not something that I would want to talk about. The government has also brought in extra FSI. I think Pune has abundant scope for vertical development also. Most of the areas outside of the adjoining the new ring road that is happening is still untouched. So we have a lot of potential for development. And I think a lot of exciting things can be expected in Pune in the years to come.
Real estate as an asset class is probably one of the growth stories of this economy. The main thing that perhaps we have all missed out is that nothing and no other investment can replicate or replace the value of or the emotional value or the emotional EQ value of real estate to an investor or a prospective purchaser. I'll tell you a story. I play a little bit of golf, and whenever a golf caddy, okay, who somehow got a flat allotment through NRIs or something, and he was struggling from one place to another to get a loan. Then I helped him out. Then we managed something, and he got a loan, and that was what, some 12, 13 lakh rupees. And he got a loan, and after that, his life has changed. It's just a one-bedroom flat, nothing out of the world. His life has changed. He has a strut in his walk. He has that satisfaction as he goes out. So, real estate is the only tangible asset which provides satisfaction in every sense of the way word to the purchaser. And this cannot be, I mean, emphasized enough. This is the most important aspect. Be it an investor or a first-time user, doesn't matter. Real estate gives you that tangible comfort that no other investment does. If you look at any city in the country, and if you also specifically speak about Pune, more so about Pune, every city perhaps grows on an annualized basis over 10 years to about 4 to 5%. Pune, the story is slightly better. We grow at about 6 to 8% annually over a 10-year window. There might be ups and downs, there might be small ridges and valleys in a few years, but those are more circumstantial than otherwise. But every city will grow, and Pune more so will grow at 6 to 8%. If you add to it the fact that you are also able to give your flat on rent or your office on rent, you get a significant upside on your investment. Contrary to popular expectation, I mean, post-COVID, everybody thinks that people are only buying real estate because they had a tough time renting out premises in COVID, and that's true. Yeah, that was one of the triggers also. But having said that, they are also buying homes because they have the ability to work from home. Okay, true. So they are being discerning. They are buying slightly larger houses also, and they are happy to work from home. Again, contrary to popular perception, the residential rentals have also gone up. Of course, of course, the commercial were always good, but residential rentals have also gone up slightly. And year on year, they are going up because good premium residential complexes are not really available. Correct. Even now, commensurate with the demand. I'm saying commensurate with the demand. The real estate growth story is here to stay. Little bit more and more. The projects which are preferred are slightly larger, maybe 50, 100, 200 flats, 500 flats, where there are a lot of amenities that are possible, and where the only requirement is that the internet has to be also very correct. I think that's become a big need. It's almost as important as light and air today. So increasingly, we will see more and more investments coming into real estate, and with Pune, I don't see a problem at all. I think that really sums up a lot of the thought processes that a lot of people, and I think bringing in that emotional, the EQ value, I think that was very, very important, because like you said, I think anything other investment, shares, gold, anything, for us there is no emotional attachment to it. You're just looking at
how much profit I'm getting out of it. But I think the emotional quotient, this thing is a huge thing, especially for Indians.
It's huge. Whether I'll tell you, whether it's your first home, second home, third home, fifth home,
Correct.
you still love to buy houses. It's something that we do for anybody.
And like you said, I mean, I can also relate to the fact, like what you said, even for your caddy buying that home brings a different sense of confidence, and his lifestyle changes completely. So you're actually changing not just one person, but you are changing a whole family, and that's how you're changing the whole society. And possibly this is why I think one of the biggest. I'm not endorsing a political view out here, but I think the biggest takeaway for any economy is the focus on housing. That housing for all is so important in India.
Extremely important.
Gated communities are the way, because 500, 300 apartments, when they're there, you're actually developing a community, right? And today, I think especially after COVID also, most people realize the importance of living in a community, because you need to help out each other. Okay, you need to be there for each other, and especially now when the lines between work and home have blurred completely, where first, you still have a physical separation. Going to office, today you're working from home more than anything else, so now you don't have any interaction with your colleagues forget in the entire organization, even within the same department, same office, because not everyone is coming to the offices. So I think most people are spending more and more times in those communities and in those homes, right? So do we think that that is the way ahead that will happen? Standalone developments of any kind, whether it's a villa or a building with this thing, these will probably find less flavor with people.
There'll always be that niche market who will look for villas or maybe their own houses or plots. But Pune being the way it is and the way it is growing, we don't seem that everybody can afford that kind of a luxury. It becomes a very luxurious item, maybe on the upside of a 3 to 4, maybe even 5 crores for now. If somebody wants to own a self-owned apartment, or piece of land in Pune. Also, being said that we have seen so many people today, in spite of having the budget, would still want to, live in a community where they find like-minded people and, good social infrastructure and good people of the similar the values that they carry as a family, to have their children to hang out with. Amenities, yes, there are amenities. They are the most important part. But then there are also levels of amenities. Like if somebody wants to have a squash court, has to go to a very premium kind of a luxury living. So I think people have found not only the budget matters, but also the kind of people that stay around you matters a lot. So if you, it's always said that if you want to, have a good nurturing, you need a good environment. So environment is also something that people are looking at, and not just the apartment.
Human is a social animal, and human, like you said, wants to interact with like-minded people. He wants to live in a community. He needs those amenities. He needs that basic feeling of security to live in a larger project. But at the same time, Pune has grown from maybe 10 lakhs to the district population of crore now. Pune's total square kilometers after the PMRD is going to be more than MMRD. So people obviously are going to shift to outside areas for the budget. I mean, other way to look at it. And outside there are majorly bigger projects, 200, 300, 400 flats. People with that kind of budget and with that kind of thing in mind that he wants to live in a community will buy there. But the core of Pune, say Deccan, Prabhat Road, Korega Park, all these areas, there are people who don't want to leave that 2 kilometer of their radius. So those people are going to look at standalone apartments, maybe not bungalows, because nobody has, not everybody has a budget. So they are going to continue looking for that areas only. So they may look at smaller apartments with less amenities, but they will not leave that area. What I feel, so there is demand for both asset classes. So one is a little bit outside Pune, community living, and one is the core areas of Pune, the Pet areas, Prabhat Road, Homes and all. Who would prefer staying in that area? For that, they may compromise on the community living, or they will live standalone apartments also.
One important thing that was coming to mind is that when we talk about all these pet areas and all these areas, saying there is a lot of sentimental value attached to it. But if you look at any major city which has a history, right? Even Mumbai, or even especially if you go abroad, you look at London, Hong Kong, Singapore. There's been a lot of redevelopment that's happened, which is not piecemeal redevelopment. It's not just a plotted development. It's actually a cluster development, which is an entire area. Do you think that that is something that can happen in Pune? Is it desirable?
I think I mean, the authorities have big plans for Pune. Not only is there an MSRDC ring road, but there is also PMRDA ring road, which are huge. I mean, you're talking of 200 kilometers and 125-kilometer stretches. Then you are talking of metro line, all together almost 150 kilometer line across. That is the master plan. Then you're talking of JICA project, which is 100% recycled water. You're talking of 24/7 water supply. You're talking of high-speed metro railway between Pune and Nasik, which has recently got sanctioned, and now another one between Pune and Hyderabad too. So, in general, there's a lot of emphasis on infrastructure. Is it well, you have Purandar Airport now,
Correct.
which is also being planned. It's a huge this thing, and it's very important, if not from passenger travel, but for a cargo travel hub, as a hub entirely. So, the if, are these all on track? So maybe not. Maybe not. They will, but they have all been planned and sanctioned. So our sense is river beautification is another one. So our sense is that there are so many of these projects which are on the anvil, which are under different stages of completion, and once the infrastructure picks up, then really people will start moving out of the city center. But as a city center, the importance of city center still holds today.
Correct.
Because the infrastructure is not yet caught up with the pace of development, or pace of human growth. So that lag, once it gets addressed, I'm sure we'll have the answer to your question. And
Earlier, up till very recently, most of the buyers used to look at the budget and then accordingly choose their location or maybe floor plan. Now, especially after COVID, since they've realized the importance of a good, nice, spacious home, they are first looking at the product. Second, they are looking at the location. And the budget is coming third. So they are ready to put in that extra, that extra money. The banks also supporting. So they are ready to do that. So people who want to buy inside the city will buy over there only. Maybe because of the new UDC plan, there are many avenues going to open up. People who are preferring to go outside, maybe due to the budget, still can come to the city very fast because of the metro, because of the new roads planned, the ring roads are there. So this decision is going to be product based in the near future also. Secondly, it will be the location based, and third, it's going to be the budget.
I think the way lifestyle has panned out over the past few decades, when we were young, we would play cricket on the road.
Correct.
I think parents today are a little more discerning. They are more sensitive towards what children need, and they want to address the needs of the children more. They want maybe a play area for the children. They want the children to be social. They want the children to go down in the evening, play something, have a sports life, have a social life. These are the values that the community living brings to the table. So I think these are the more preferred reasons, the reasons that people look up to, and the much higher for the community living in spite of other options being available.
Last year, all asset classes moved, right? What do we see happening this year? I mean, do we see that commercial office and resi and retail, all of these will move ahead? Or do we think that, certain things will move further ahead and some things will get stayed behind? I mean, what do you think is
Pune is a very dynamic market, I would say. We have seen commercial growing like anything, and still we are behind all the big cities like Bangalore and Hyderabad. But I see that changing very rapidly now, and we have A plus grade commercials now happening all around the town. And with Pune Metro also coming in and those TOD zones being declared, transit oriented development zones being declared, where a special incentive is given if you are within 500 meters from the proposed metro station. You will see a lot of good A plus grade commercial springing up in the very near future. So definitely Pune is very bullish on commercial as well. Being said that, we all know that there are layoffs all around the world. Still, most of the world still seems that India's growth will consistently happen the way it is happening now, and hence people are still bullish on commercial. Also, Pune being educational hub, we have seen student housing coming in. Also, due to the Cosmo crowd, we have seen co-living also springing up in a lot of places in and around Pune.
So regarding retail, residential, and commercial, I think these are three wheels of a rickshaw. One of them cannot go ahead without the other. I mean, unless there is employment happening, unless the city is attracting talent, unless the city is attracting good companies from abroad, opportunities for education and employment, people are not going to be coming here. Uh, and of course, if people are not going to come, if you're not going to need residential, you're not going to need commercial, then people who are able to be not going to buy residential, and then that's going to go down to the retail. Luckily for Pune, as I mentioned earlier, it's a very good educational hub. We are attracting a lot of companies globally, and we are in many ways the place to look up to for a lot of places around in Maharashtra, around Pune, where educated engineers want to come and settle here. They want to make a living here, not just from Maharashtra, but from across India. I mean, you see a lot of people from various states of from the north coming into Pune, not just students. I'm sure a lot of senior bureaucrats who once, if they're transferred to Pune, then they don't want to go back to their, they want to make their home for life. So I think it attracts talent, it attracts a lot of people who are uh, committed, who are educated, and the drivers for all the three: residential, commercial, and retail.
There's one other aspect that we must always recognize that the if you look at even at the peak of COVID, you had a lot of vacancy in commercial real estate. A lot of money was chasing, the funds were chasing commercial real estate.
Correct.
So they're taking a long-term view, and that long-term view emerges from only one fact, that the level of educated people in this city, Pune as a preferred destination for settlement, are the two key drivers which are governing that decision, because they get a very good intellectual capital in this city. We have already 12 private universities here, okay, and as we speak, they are adding on to universities. So therefore, they are betting on the people and their preferred location as a city more than perhaps the immediate occupancy or non-occupancy of real estate. That's not necessarily a condition. Then again, when we look at commercial real estate, we are only talking about the IT or the large format spaces. But that's also not true, because a lot of people want even city commercial.
Correct.
They want to be in buildings which are standalone, where they can go have their office, and it's a fully office building, and they want to come back. So they want to buy into real estate, in a smaller format, because they don't have the budget to buy 15,000 or 20,000 square feet. So they may buy 2,000, 3,000 square feet, because commercial real estate also can be rented out very easily.
True.
And particularly city-centric commercial estate is very easy to rent out. So therefore, because there are a lot of professionals who want to rent out.
Correct.
So need is not 15,000 and 20,000 square feet. The need is smaller. So commercial real estate will always do well in a city like this. And more so than other cities in this thing. if you now look at the metros in this country, why are they more preferred than, let's say, tier 2, tier 3 cities? And that's also because the social infrastructure is in place. And when I say social infrastructure, it's not just about staying in a housing complex. And so you need the social infrastructure. You need a theater to go to.
Correct.
You need a shopping complex. You need movie halls. You need restaurants to go to.
Yep.
So that's social infrastructure. You need clubs to go to.
Yes.
Those are important considerations also when they're looking at a city as preferred to maybe slightly tier 3, tier 4 places too. So there is always this growth story in India, unfortunately or fortunately, will always be catered towards the cities more so than others, major cities.
Yeah. So
I'm talking from a real estate perspective.
Correct.
The larger companies who used to rent out like buildings, a little bit outside, say in my IT hubs, they are also renting out now properties in prime area, smaller but A grade buildings, because they want their presence here. Some of them are working out of home. Some of them have unfortunately lost their jobs. But these companies are shifting to prime areas, smaller but A grade buildings.
Okay.
So commercial is always going to be in demand. With India right now is the fourth largest economy. By 2035, it is poised to be the third, and by 2050 is going to be the second largest economy. So India is growing.
Correct.
With India's growth story, residential and commercial both are going to grow. Many NRIs who never thought of purchasing apartments or any property in India are looking at India again. People are coming here, thriving for apartments here, and like Pune is an aspiration market. So a NRI who's maybe based out of smaller cities still wants to buy in Pune because of the lifestyle it offers, the kind of returns it offers, and the security it has, and the kind of projects we are doing here. So everything India is growing, residential commercial is growing. A city like Pune is obviously growing.
Two things that I would like to discuss and get your viewpoints on is, one is that what do you think needs to happen? I mean, what are the bottlenecks that the sector is facing today? I mean, let's face it, the budget is gone, so there's nothing that the central government can do. And because real estate is more a localized this thing, right? I mean, it's local authorities plus state authorities. What are the challenges that the sector is facing, if any, with this, with the government, any kind of policies, whether it's related to stamp duty, registrations, any kind of taxes? Are there any concerns that you'll think we should be?
In 2020, just after the first COVID wave, the state government came up with this policy of having a 4% cut in the stamp duty, right, for 3 months. That is October to December. After that, they continued it with a 1% rise. So that was a very important breather for the real estate industry.
True.
For many things, like real estate industry is a sentiment-driven industry. So the sentiments were already high that we want to purchase a property because I understood the importance of having your own house, and the government giving benefits, and the banks lowering the interest rate. So everything was so nice at that time.
There are a couple of bottlenecks that we must be mindful of. See, real estate is a very complex kind of a profession. We have, on the one hand, uneducated labor. We have to train to achieve a certain quality and timeline for a project. On the other hand, there is just a lot of regulation which is governing our industry. And as we speak, the regulation keeps getting added on. Okay. Of course, RERA is bigger, but beyond RERA also now environment has become a big, I would call it a stumbling block, but it is a deterrent to timely possession. Okay. Then there is also a lot of litigation and extortionists which are come. And to us, that is the biggest challenge. Okay, who are either local gangs who kind of come and stop your work through one public interest litigation or other, or there are environmental litigants, or there are RERA litigants, all three. So these are I'm just listing out things which are impediments to the timely completion of a project, which is the core requirement of a developer. Correct. It is over and above anything else. We must try and give our projects on deliver our projects on time. The second aspect is that while the regulation has tried to be whether it's UDCPR or whether any other regulation, they try to introduce that ease of business kind of protocol. Yet we are in the hands of the authority who is interpreting that at times. So our only concern is that our files can get stuck somewhere without it being necessary at all. Okay. And if because the permissions are dependent on that. So if our files get stuck in due course, that also causes the project to get delayed. Correct. So these are 2 or 3 things that if the government can really focus on ease of business and standardize everything and keep a timeline to the completion of or issue of permission once the application is done.
I think for the developers that have worked for some years, Ranjit of course has worked with I mean between us we would have worked 100 days. So that experience needs to count somewhere. The banks need to be sensitive about our commitment to the industry. The government needs to be by now a little confident that we are here to stay and we intend to develop projects and give homes to the end user. That belief has to be there. And with that belief, I think lower funding at a lower cost will come.
In fact, I think one of the things that I could relate to when Ranjit mentioned is that you know, a finance minister during the speech made a special announcement of the fact that about 28,000 laws, if I'm not mistaken, were corrected and taken out to improve the ease of business, right? And here you're telling me that no, in fact, more laws are getting added onto the real estate sector, which is making.
They're having a new circular almost every 15 days on one thing or the other.
Correct, but that demand for that single window clearance, that's not something that the central government can implement, right? That has to be done at the state.
Doesn't matter to us which government it is. It's a state or central. What is affected is our project.
Correct.
This is the key consideration for us. So that's why I said it. It could be even it could be as small as the statutory authority. It could be the revenue department. It could be the octroi department. It could be the mining department. Everything gets affected with real estate.
What do you think is the future for the real estate sector vis-a-vis where digitalization is concerned? I mean, where do we see heading? We've been reading a lot. Developers are now providing all sorts of things. You also mentioned, some time back that a lot of people are now seeing houses online. They're searching. What do we think is the future where digitalization is concerned, online is concerned?
Digital space, I think, is the most proactive space for developers to be on, and for the end users. I mean, what was the hoardings maybe for 4 years ago as a media of communication for the developers today is the digital media.
I think 80% of our marketing spends have now changed from hard media to soft media.
Okay.
So all our leads, I think more than 80% of our leads come through social media and other channels like Magicbricks and so on. Also, this is the only spend that we can be very confident of as to the cost per lead.
Sure.
No other marketing gets us the kind of leads that the digital does.
Digitalization is obviously the present and the future. We have today used it extensively for service and marketing to the customer. But we are hoping that soon, though real estate is as I had earlier said, is a very emotional decision.
Correct.
And therefore it cannot be sold as a commodity. Okay. I mean, let's say you can't buy a flat off Amazon.
Yep.
Okay, you still have to go and see it or visually experience the marketing before you can go and visit. So, if sooner than later, if we can move towards that, where you are giving an end-to-end digital solution for your house, right from your permissions to your construction to your marketing to your sale to your customer experience to so that it is all completely interface free, personal intervention free.
For a developer also, because of digitization, AI, we can review the site progress, we can monitor the site, we can see it through the CCTV, use WhatsApp. So everything has become so easy now. You can look at reviews of the project of the developer. You can look at those videos.
Correct.
You don't need to go to the project at all. And nowadays, especially because of the security issues, the safety issues, we would like that a person is going online and seeing everything.
Correct. This is wonderful. I think we've got some good insights.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate your. Thank you.